Okay, in the middle of page Kuf Tzadik quotes, you finish saying that the Dorot nach Feilam is Medida Vagbal. Mashenk and the Dorot nach der Mitzvahs, Nimis Dorot nach Eine Medida Vagbal. So start again the paragraph in the middle of the page. Tzadik quote. גם שבתרמית זה שגם מכנס מדידה, but we חייב בסין, התרמית זה also does מדידה, שבכלל מכנס המדידה מה שיש במצווס. Number one, there's the limit and the measurement. What mitzvah says? Only this is a mitzvah. This is not a mitzvah. Putting on film is a mitzvah, and walking is not a mitzvah. Walking in the street is not a mitzvah. Gam b'asiyas mitzvah eich beis eifenti a mitzvah. Tzarich lizoev kach v'kach dafke. The way each mitzvah is done is as specific instructions. Which limit. Shamadida azay salida teresh mitzvah mitzvahs. So Torah limits the mitzvahs. Torah tells mitzvahs how to they were performed. So that shows that even the Ratzon Torah mitzvahs also has Agbola. Torah itself also has a measurement and limit. The words of Torah there's a limit. How many words there are? There's an exact number, not more, not less. So the answer is the medida of Torah is not the medida of Nafshach, which the function of the medida is to measure how much in self, how much early kids is minimshach. The medida b'tzimtzum ve'elam. The medida of Nafshach means the medida, the measure and the limit. In the strength and the scope of the oil, and it seems the element, it limits, it contracts the and hides the conceals it. She calls it eine Shahak from that type of quality function that limits the oil is only shiur in Ashayach Lailums. You can say that there's a specific measure how the oil is going to be expressed. How it can be expressed, how it can be received by lambs. Himself, which is above that, all these, all above Shachas, Sham. But there's no, it's impossible to have that limitation, that measurement. You'll measure it, it should be miskabel. Not in that world. You'll say like this. If it's not in that world, let's say it's not like it says that it can't taste a color. Color and taste are two different worlds. So you can't say that the color is dimmed, and other the taste should be a certain way. The color is not. It's a different type of entity. So similarly, in our case. The oil stuff, which is above Agbola, is not shaykh to oil. You can't say it can limit it. The concept of limit doesn't apply there because it's above oil. No, it brings a dogma of this concept. This concept that there's certain limit. Let's see what the concept. But he's bringing the right. It says in Chazal, שיש מלאכים שטסים סביב תשעחס, some malachim surround the entire world בתשעחס in one flight, in one shot. יש בשתיים, יש בארבע, עד ארבע. שם לא נאמר שם שיר כמה הם טסים באלו. How long they can surround and fly over the entire world. And the Shamash doesn't say it. Only by Malachim. When he's buyer, so it's explained in other places. The Shamash Malachim and Be'er HaElam. There's Malachim that attack spiritual beings, but they look for Erech HaElam. Lachein Shaykh L'Inin Agbola Ba'atisa Shalem. So they can talk about limiting how long it takes them. Once, twice, 4 times. אבל נשמה שאין באחד, הם לא שייכים להגבלה הזאת. נשמה זה not a בערך, you can't say it takes one, three, בכלל, they're not in that dimension. Interesting, Marshall, כמובן, your ones are similarly, בנגיע טעמים שלו, שבפנימיוס, ואתם זה אין סוף, אין שאלה בגדר האילומס, אין שם דידה באופן המשך ישראל, באופן נזכר האילומס. In that level of pnimis vatzter and so, which is not the gather elements, you can't describe it that it's limited, to fear elements, but which is called elements, that the elements should be able to receive it. Actually, המדידה של שמו, הנה המדידה, מה הוא מוסר נמשך, אבל כאשר נמשך, אז נמשך כל העצם כמו שהוא. No, when the measure, the function of the measure is not for the sake of the elements. The measure tells you when the oil comes and when it doesn't come. If you do the mitzvah, there's Amshach, there's not the mitzvah, there's not Amshach, you do the mitzvah a specific way, but when what comes, it's not something limited. Nimshach, not a limited version of what's Nimshach. וזהו שהוא מדידה עצמס, מדידה עצמס. That's the concept that is called מדידה עצמס, הגבלה עצמס, אלוהים על ידי מה ימשך העצם. It's a medida that tells you what will draw the עצם. אני שכח עולה ברצה לבניס עצמס נסתובו. This is the Eibishter words that he's going to be expressed after to film in a specific way, but it doesn't mean that it's limited within the film. שזה דווקא מיtzvah, זה המשך, like I said, only this act should be considered mitzvah. על ידי זה המשך, and that will cause the to be נמשך. אבל כאשר הוא נמשך, הוא נמשך כמו שהוא. But what is נמשך? It's not נמשך only a limited version, only a partial, diminished version. נמשך כמו שהוא, the entire essence is נמשך. That's a mitzvah. Similarly, the Oasis Atera also. Oasis Atzim Shemagalim Kol Ha'etzim. It's not Oasis that limiting. The Oasis Atzim Magalim Kol Ha'etzim. Maimel, the proof to that is Maimel Chazal, Maimel of the Ramban says, Kol Ha'tera Kula, Kol Ha'tera B'tera, Kil Kol Ha'tera B'tera. That the learning of Torah is compared to recalling the Eibishter's names. This means Hashem is Atzmi. When we talk about Shemus here, Shem also, you'll say in a minute, there's a few levels in Shem. The Shem we're talking here, because means Shemus Atzmi. The Hine, Gimel Min Shemesh. Gimel Tron Shemesh. There are generally three types of names. Shem HaPahula, the name that describes the action of the person, Shem HaTorah, the name that describes the person himself, but as B'Shem HaEtzem, but then it describes himself what his abilities are, and Shem HaEtzem, Shem HaPa'ula Levade. The Shem HaPa'ula applies only to the act. Shem HaTorah Gam Ken Shem Shaykh LaPa'ula. The Shem HaTorah is not the Shem of the actual Pa'ula, but it's Shaykh LaPa'ula. Shem HaVaya, if you really jump right away to Lamaila, Shem HaVaya, Ein Shaykh LaPa'ula, like Masha Etzem Niko Shem Zeh. It's not the description. What?
Isn't Shem HaTorah this adjective? It shows that let's say tall man. That's no, something like that. No, Shem HaTorah, it shows the characteristic of a person or the object, whatever it is.
1 second. 1 second. Okay, the way the Shem HaTorah here means in the mind itself, it says that Pa'ula. You're talking about, let's say, Shem HaTorah, when you say a person is a let's say a person is a teacher, right? So you call him, he's a teacher. So that's called Shem HaTorah. It describe what his abilities are. Shem Pa'ula means when he actually teaches. He teaches. He is a teacher. One describes what he does, and one describes what he could do. You describe him. Who is he? He's a teacher. So that's Shem HaTorah now in this context. The point is Shem Havaya. He jumps all the way to the name. Shem Havaya ain't a shaykh lapola. This is who he is. His name is Moshe. So that doesn't matter what his what his abilities are. That's who he is. So there brings a dogma. There's Hashem Adam Shgar Shem Kohol Be'em Chol Achai Shein Hashem Apol Kim Masha Etzem Lik B'Shem Zeh. When Adam named all the animals, so it wasn't based on their action. It was who they are. Was the essence. Zeu Inyan Shem Havaya Shem Etzem. So now he says that Shem Havaya is really, when he says Shema Yisrael HaKadosh Baruch Hu, means Shem Havaya, which is Shem Etzem. She'ein zeh Shem Yisavos, ki Masha Etzem is Nikol Yisgal of Shem Zeh. So sometimes Shem Havaya is Lashon Mahave. You know, one shot in Havaya is Lashon Mahave. That will call Shem HaTorah. What is this entity? He creates. He's a teacher. So that's one shot in Shem Havaya. But here he's talking about a different shot in Shem Havaya. Shem Havaya, Shem HaEtzem. This expresses essence. This is he. This is who he is. Like the Shem Kamoik and Gam Kamoik HaTorah. So we say, okay, so that was a dogma, a raya from Chamayim Chazal to the Torah B'Torah, okay, B'Shon Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that just like Shema Yisrael HaKadosh Baruch Hu means Shem Havaya. Shem Havaya is not a name that describes what he does. Okay, I'll go for it. The truth is that Shem HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, it says, Ba'od HaMoishim Gofer, it says, that's like Shem HaTorah. It describes the Eibishter as the master, because he's the master of the universe. So that's Shem HaTorah. That describes what his function is. Shem Havaya means that's the essence. So that's Al Kaponim in this.
Doesn't Havaya mean create?
Exactly. That's another point. You're right. That's what I just said. It's one of the Pirushim of Havaya is that he creates. That's one shot. According to that shot, that's Shem HaTorah. But here it says shot that Havaya is also as a different meaning. It means Shem HaEtzem. It describes his essence. The Rambam says the Havaya is Lashon being. He is the ultimate being. So that's Shem HaEtzem. I think even that is more.
That's the translation of it. Could be another translation of Havaya, like I am.
Exactly. Even being, you know what? Even being is still we can argue that. There's a lot of explanation with Havaya. So in Havaya's being can also say, we can also in a way call it Toya. It described what he is. Like you said, this person is like I said, a teacher. So that's not the dogma from other Malaysian. He calls the interesting dogma. Calls someone name, calls the name. So there's no meaning. It's not that Sheh describes what type of being it is. This is the essence. This is the essence of that creature. So lahavdil Shem Havaya. It says, this touches the essence. That's one of the ways that explain the concept of Havaya. So in our Maimon, he's saying pshat in my machazat, doesn't mean the shmois of Hashem Ha'ula, but Hashem Ha'ula says, has done the Rebbe Rav Chesed, that's Hashem Ha'ula. And then there is also Elikim, Dayan, that's also Shem HaTorah. Mashenken, Avaya means he is who he is. It's just the essence. So all this is just to explain why it's in Torah.
And that could be even higher than being as a form like Matzarisha, like being
exactly,
as because it's him himself.
Yeah, exactly. So, because Matzarisha is also a description. I'm sorry it's a certain. I'm speculating a little bit, but I remember there's also we learned some about Havai she'ein by pirush, Havai she'ein by oisir. There's a lot of levels in Havai. The Shem Havai can have a lot of meanings. It can be the lowest is that is Mahava. It's It's only one aspect of his being. So that's like Shem HaPa'ula. You could also call it Shem HaTorah, Shem HaPa'ula. These two a little. I'm not sure, but it's not Etzem. Shem HaPa'ula. But when you say Havai, the ultimate meaning of Havai is Shem HaEtzem. This refers to his essence. Like when he calls someone by his name, it doesn't mean what he's doing, what type of person he is. It's just that's him. This is him. Remember, like the famous story with Alter Rebbe Tzemach Tzedek. Doesn't say that. Exactly. It means it's him. He calls him. It's him. It's not something that describes him. So Al-Kaponim, Kamoykein, what he wants to bring out from this concept is this is a marshal, this is a dogma of the Indian of Oisias HaTorah. We want to describe Oisias HaTorah as Oisias Atzmi. Shem Oisias Atzmi, She'etzim Shechal Yodo. L'chein Nimshach HaTorah Lamata, Kamei Lamayla, Mach Shechon Yisrael, Shem Chazim Gedagol, L'chein Lamata, Kamei Lamayla. So that's what happens in Torah mitzvahs. Torah mitzvahs, because the Agbola is not Agbola which comes like I started yesterday saying, that there's a Agbola result. You come in a certain world, and the world, in order for you to be able to express yourself there, you have to measure up at Sislekat as Alkanimusa. You have to measure up to the parameters and the functions and the limitations of that world. So that creates a situation that means you limit it. But Shenkin here, the limit. They say if there is feeling a certain way, I come there as I am. There's no limitation. That's the whole point. There's no medida v'agbola. When the Oisha comes into is expressed in this world, it's divided, it's separated. Each part of the elements gets a different level of what it can handle. It comes to this Agbola, but it's like the Shem, it's like Shem Havai. It's Agbola, but that Agbola is Mamsha, that's in Kamoy Shu. Lamata Kamoy Lamayl. Okay, so we finished describing. We finished describing we didn't finish one more line, but okay, then he brings another mashal that was the Chasanosai. Compare Matan Torah to a Chasana. Chasana means that the unity of the Chasana and Kala. So the connection of the Chasana and Kala is called Amshach Atzmis. In a certain way, the connection is a connection just above all these limitations. So to repeat the point he's making here, first he made what we learned until today made a general point. There's the different Ratz and the Eilamais. Ratz and the Eilamais is a Ratz and Mugbal. That's why he spoke about all the Tzimtzumim that in order to create the Ratz and because it's a Ratz and Chitzaini. It's a secondary interest. It's like It's like what do you call it? It's a means to an end. The Eibush wanted it should be Torah mitzvah, so when they created the world, the Torah mitzvah should be able to be expressed there. But it's really a secondary thing. It's not a real mailer. In order for that to be created, that's chitzonius, the limits, etc. But the ultimate, the Ratzon Atzmi, that's the Ratzon Torah mitzvah. That brings the madriga of the Elikus, which is above any limitation and above any stricture or concealment or contraction. It's the Elikus Kameshu.
I'm sorry. So the Simsum and all this did not affect the Torah, correct? All this, like, the Simsum and this not affect the Torah.
Yeah, of course not. Torah comes from Simsum. That's what he said already earlier. And Torah comes from a different, so to speak, another flow, a different flow than the Torah mitzvahs, than the oilams. Now he's taking us back to the pasuk. The pasuk he bought earlier. The madrig of Kershada, die. That means the Shabbat that seems to that means the earth that's drawn through it seems and it's limited and it's measured. Like you said earlier, in the assumption that seems to go for the Torah, there's the earth, which is limited to it. I think it's Shema Vai, the Shema Etzem, like we just described, that was not known to the others. Which means the Ein Shemeir means that the what we get to Torah, to the limit to Matan Torah, is that material, like we just said, of etzem, the essence as is, the essence of the Likus as is expressed in Torah. So another expression that's explained this way, Matan Torah, we just said Matan Torah, it's a Matan, it's considered the present. What's meant to? Because means a raya of no pasuk. It's an pasuk. Va'iten el Moshe k'chalois l'daber ite. It's a sense of word. It gave Moshe va'iten. The concept from the sin, Matan. Another raya, what we say in davening. Panech nasatan on the Torah. Gam avachim neisen ateres. He brings three expressions, one in pasuk, one davening, one in barachas. All three express the idea that Torah is connected to Matan. So he explains what is matana. We all know what it is mecher and matana. When you buy something, means you earn it. You pay for it, so you get in exchange for your payment, you get something. It means it's something that you earn it. Matana is something that you don't earn it. It's given to you. The discretion of the giver. That's the general difference in the mecher and matana. So he says, so the same way we'll explain why Torah is called matana. Call alos man, our avodah, our alos man, that's in Kabbalah, that's what avodah Hashem is called, alos man, the female water. It means the avodah. What are avodah on its own? That what as possible with that obviously everything's everything's relative. It's basically what it's talking about. What it says talks about is different Torah and tefillah. Tefillah, Torah, when you learn Torah is you express the Ebershter Ratzon, but the Ebershter wants from you. Tefillah means you want to elevate yourself to a higher level. So that's a lost man. So that avodah is only shach l'olam. What can we reach on our own? Only the level of Likud, which is shach l'olam. אבל בארץ המאן רד שייך לאמס, לא יגיע לשם על הזמן. Without that level of likus, that level of the Eibishter, which is above elements, we can never reach it on our own. We can never reach it because it's above our level of existence. So brings a high from it says another place and says Allah's man. Sometimes Kabbalah says that to Allah's man it can only reach Chochmah, not Kesser. So you'll say exactly how he said. First of all, in Magiach it's Chochmah, which Chochmah, to Allah's man we can only reach Chochmah, which is Reish Shtashus, which is beginning of Shtashus. It means Shaykh Leilam. Even the type of avoid that reaches Kesser, we can reach Kesser, which is so that is the level of alikus we can reach to Allah's man, to our own avoid. And so level of Pnimis HaKesef, and it and so which means lifnei atzimtzum gufet. She'ein shaykh le'olam is ein magiel shem knes Allah's man. Our Allah's man cannot reach them. What happens? Misham nimsham isos le'olam sadatzim. And from that we do the poil connect to that madriga also, but that's isos le'olam sadatzim. That comes milmayl from the Eibishter's initiative. Yes.
So why all of a sudden it jumped to the Kesser? What's the Shaykhus? No, we are not talking about. We are talking before Simsum and after Simsum. Now, what's the Kesser? What's the Kesher of the Kesser here? Can we come back Kesser? Shiur b'chasiyon.
He's explaining why Torah is why. What's it in Allah's man and Torah is above Allah's man. He says. The highest level Allah's man can reach is Chochmah, which is Ishtashlos. It can reach even higher in Kesser, but only Chitzonis HaKesser. It can reach even Lifnei Atzimtzum, only Chitzonis, Mashiach Lo'ilmus, like we explained earlier in the mind. So again, in other words, it can be a very high level for Allah's man. Mesiras Nefesh is also Allah's man. Mesiras Nefesh can reach it very high. He says, no matter how high it is, if it's Tata, it's a result of our own avodah. The highest level it can reach in Alikus is Chitzonis Lifnei Atzimtzum. In other words, the regular of Allah's man reaches Chochmah. A more intense level of Allah's man can reach Chitzonis HaKesef. Even more intense can reach Chitzonis Lifnei Atzimtzum. It's all Chitzonis. That's Allah's man, our own avodah. Mashen can should be the gila of the higher madriga, which is Pnimius HaKesef, even higher. The Pnimius Shifnetim. That's also the that can only come from Milmayla. The question is, we spoke earlier because it's not exactly in the whole entire Maimar. You can't say spoke in a few states, in a few levels. Spoke within the Shtalshus, the highest level, and then above the Tzimtzum also. So it corresponds. That's why Torah is called Matana, which means, like I said, it's also it comes to the Allah's man is like a marshal, like I said, Mecher. You pay your own what you pay, which means you earn it through your own effort. So you get back what you earned. That's Mecher. That means something that's the initiative of the buyer. The buyer comes, it says, I'm giving you something that you want, give me something back. So I earn it. So that can only reach Madrigan Alikus where you tefes malkum. Your avodas tefes malkum. B'meile, the Kaviyachol the Eibishter wants you should give him that, and he gives you back. That's Madrigas which are Shaykh Lo'ilmus. But Mashenken, the Madrig of Torah is something that's above what you can reach because it's above Lo'ilmus. Now was Matan. Machne is Baal Yish and Gachzadem. Plus Niyas that's most Lachain Nikah B'Shem Matan. So that is another, I don't know, it's still in the middle of that. So he described, according to what we said earlier, that even in Torah and Olamais, everything that happens within Olamais is relates to the early key, to the godly energy, which is the Fi'ercha Olamais. B'meile, because it's the Fi'ercha Olamais, it's limited. That Mashenk, the Torah, what was given in Matan Torah, that is something which is above the limit of the Nivorim. But how do we get it? It's not okay. It's all this. We can think that all this. So he brings in another question. The truth is, there's another Chazal that says, why does it matana is something that's the discretion of the giver? He doesn't have to give it. To the the fact is that he only gives to someone who deserves. Matana also. It's not like mecher. Mecher is just like it's a two-way direction. I do something, I pay you, and you give me back what I bought. Matana is something that's not at the discretion of the giver, but still depends on who the receiver is. Usually, the matana is given to someone who did something. It's not that because he did it. It's not his act forces the seller to sell it, to the giver to give it to him, but it's still some kind of connection. So similarly, in the Matan Torah is also actually Matan Torah Shibud Mitzrayim Yetzias Mitzrayim. Before Matan Torah, it had to be the Shibud Mitzrayim, which is the Eden when goes Mitzrayim, or Yetzias Mitzrayim, but the least clear oil is about the Shibud Mitzrayim. It's there Zachal Kabbalas Torah. So in order to be a Keli Roy for the Matana, there has to be some kind of effort by the Makablim. So this is the next step that he added here. We all along spoke about how the Torah is matana, but there had to be some input from the Makablim, in order to be keli for the matana. Because if there would be no shivud mitzrayim, no yetzias mitzrayim, there wouldn't be a keli. They can give it to them, but they don't know what to do with it because they're not.
So what was the ach? The word ach was the word ach etzem on Meshachah Torah b'derech matana milmal. So in other words, the etzem Torah did not have anything to do with the Shibud Mitzrayim. The way I understand it, in other words, what we
just said, they became kalim to be able to cover Torah. But the act of giving it to them, that's not something that they earned. That comes in Milamila. They have to be kalim for that, but the actual giving was not, so to speak, forced by the action. That's a pure Amshach Milamila.
So for them to receive it is also to receive the chesed of the Torah? No. To receive what? To be a carry for what? To receive the Torah, the Etzem Torah. Right. Or to receive the chesed of the Torah. In other words, for matana, you don't need to be a carry, correct?
No, you do have to be a keli. That's what I just said. You have to be a keli, but the fact that you're a keli does not force the mashpia to give it to you. You must be a keli. You have to be a kli oil. But still, that doesn't mean that you get it automatically as a result of your act. You're keli, and then in order for that to happen, it's also later. The Eibush himself gives it to you. You have to be a keli, because if you're not a keli, he's not going to give it to you because you're not shaykh to it. Not because you didn't earn it. If you want, it's like it's a slight difference. Not like we always, like in the real world, someone gives you a ride, the taxi gives you a ride, and you pay him a fare, and then you also give him a tip. So it's two parts. The ride, you owe it to him. So if it's also that, it's also the way that's the way. In the tip, that's something that you don't owe him. You don't owe it to him. Lepoil, if you're happy what he did, you give him a tip. So that's not. It means he didn't earn it. He's just his behavior is a keli for you to give it to him. That's the point here. It's he didn't earn it, but he has to be there to in order for him. Why does he get the tip, not someone else? Because he did something, so he's a keli for that. It's not an exact mashal. That's the difference between matana and mecha. So again, in the world of matana, there's also needs to be some kind of input of the makabel. That's why there has to be tzias mitzvah, shibud mitzvah, tzias mitzvah. There should be a keli, but it's still etzem amshachas atayah. But the actual giving is a result of what the mashpia of the mile. It's not something that we earned because we can't. Because the madrega of Likud Shamayim we cannot earn. We cannot get there anyway on our own. It's not. We don't have the power to reach so high. Is that okay? What I said? Or huh?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Now going back to the pasuk of the Maimot, החודש הזה לכם. So to describe החודש הזה לכם, it's going to get quite arichus. הנה ידוע, the moira הלבון, הנה שיר של הסיר. The whole concept of how does the moon produce light? The moon gives us light at night. Where does the moon get its sun? It's really it's really a result of the unity of the sun and the moon. The moon itself doesn't have any of its own light. The moon gets the light from the sun and in turn shines in this world. What does it mean in a spiritual sense, in a higher level? Talking the concept of Moil Delavona, the Oyalavona, Lamailo, that's the concept of Ichot Zoh Malchus. The two Madrigas Nalikus, one is Zoh, one is Malchus. Malchus, less than Migal Moklum. And Malchus gets the oil from Zoh, and it's Meir in the islands. That's how Kabbalah describes the concept of Yichud Shimshon V'Sir, Yichud Zoh Malchus. What type of Yichud is it? What level? So see, earlier he spoke about that. Here in this description, he's talking about the lower levels. Within Olam Atzilas Guf, we have Zoh and Malchus. Zoh represents the Shalifnei Tzimtzum, and Malchus represents the Shaykh L'Elamis. And Yichud Zoh Malchus means that Zoh is Meir to Malchus. The two Malchus, Zoh is Mamshech, the Shalifnei Tzimtzum in this world. That he says, actually, how do we know that? Because he says, Shayichot Eine Yichud Chitzonish when it's the say the status. What level of Likus is Nimshach from Zot to Malchus in Moil Delavona? It's interesting. It says Moil Delavona. Maybe it should say Moil. See, I don't know. Maybe it's a typo. I'm not sure. However, the idea is clear. So, what level of oil is Nimshach from Zoh and Malchus? It's not Ichud Chitzoni. Ichud Pnimi, the Amshach Pnimi is Vatzmitzer himself. What level of Likud is Nimshach from Zoh and Malchus? Not So any but the pnimi. Like I said, not how do we know that? Where do we see it in mathematics? It says, we call, interestingly, in Chazal, the new moon is called Moilad, something that's born. What's meant Moilad? Moilad is a remes. In the concept of giving birth is comes from the living king, living things give birth, right? Even animals, humans. So what is giving, what concept does giving birth represent? The idea of giving birth means that one entity creates something which is really we call it reproduction. It's called another version of itself. But in other words, there's ha'ora, there is the mice, has a lot of acts. But hiloda, the concept of hiloda, signifies the idea that that the exact thing that's creating is being created. Let's say go back to the standard in our world, in the world of the humans. The human being, a lot means that another person is created, the same person like the parent. The parent creates a child in a way that it creates something which the essence is transitioned into the next generation. So when you say Moilad Alavona, because it's described in Chazal b'shem Moilad, means that what exactly is being created there, but similar to the Mashpia. So that means that the Ichad Zav Malchus is compared to Moilad, that what is expressed in Malchus, the essence of Zoh, which is the Pnimius V'atzis. Zoh Inyan, okay, so that's another remez in the concept of Moilad Alvon, which our pasuk is talking about. Achodesh is Elachem, that talks about Moilad Alvon. That is also explanation. It says in Kabbalah that every month there's another tzir of Shem Havai. The 4 letters of Havai, the 12 ways he can turn them around. Bichlal, it says Arba Avonim, Boinim Esim V'Arba Batim. The truth, 4 letters, you can really make 24 combinations of them. But Shem Havai, because the two of the same letter, hey, the hey appears twice. So you can't. There's no. I mean, there is also a situation of the Machal in two heim, but in the simple sense, there's only 12 ways we can manipulate. We can combine the 4 letters of Yud Kei Vav Kei. It says in Kabbalah that each of the 12 months represents another way of another combination of Shem Havai. You remember the Rebbe always used to say that Chodesh Shvat, because the Rebbe spoke about Chodesh Shvat because that's the month of Yud Shvat. This is the tzir of Yud Shvat is Homer Mirenu V'Hoyahu, which is Hey Yud Vav Hey. Stam, I'm giving you a dogma. So each month has its own way, its own combination of Shem Havai. Tzir of Chodesh. So that's the point. So what does it mean? That brings out the point we just made earlier. It's earlier it said Havaya means Shema Etzem. So each month, each Moilad, there's a new Havaya being Kaviyafo created. Created is the wrong word. It's like being born, being expressed. So the Moilad, the fact that there's a new moon, a new month means a new Gilui of Havai. So that's just said before Havai is Shema Etzem. So that's in a way means that a nuam shacha of Havaya. The ultimate within all the 12 months, when is the ultimate Shacha of Havaya? That's Chodesh Nisan. She'u Shodesh Shem Havaya Tziva. Gilu Pnei Shem Ha'etz. In the Chadashim Guf, the tzir of Chodesh Nisan is Yud Kei Vav Kei. It's Kesidre, which the regular Shem Havaya. So that's when the Shachat Shem Ha'etzim is in its purest way. So that now it's explained. We started the mind with the Rashi. Rashi says, the real beginning of Torah is a Chodesh Zelachem, which is Chodesh Nisan. Why? So in addition to the simple pshat that the Chodesh Rashi says she mitzvah Yisrael and Star Yisrael, that now we find a deeper expression of this concept. Because Chodesh Hazeh is the Gilui Shem Havaya, and that is Torah. Torah is Gilui Shem Havaya, like we just said. That's why Torah should have started with a Chodesh Zelachem, because a Chodesh Zelachem, that is the same concept of Torah. Okay, so all right, we'll continue Sunday.
Shkoyach, good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos. That's it? That's 8 o'clock. Okay. Good Shabbos. Thank you.